All right. So been sitting on this one for a couple of days, but now we're not. Again, you know, salt shaker out because you never know. But it seems like a lot of stuff that has been leaked, a lot of it is actually ending up coming true, which is pretty scary. Anyway, let's get into this. If you don't want to click on the link, the text says King Jared is important to the story but dies before it starts. Goro's relevancy. You know what? You know, just as a little bit of a, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of representation here. I always sort of had in my mind how King Jared would be in terms of like how he'd be portrayed. And I always portrayed him much like King Randor from Master of the Universe. It's very, you know, regal but strong and fair king. And that's kind of always how I wondered how King Jared would actually be portrayed. That, you know, he's very well loved, he's very fair, you know, will go into battle to protect his kingdom, and yeah, that's kind of how I kind of always envisioned King Jared's interpretation to be. Goro's relevancy is greatly reduced. He is no longer a great champion, but rather an important asset to the Outworld army. So this is all over the place. Right. Now, it could be a little sketchy on my MK lore, but like, God. Are we going to see Goro rise? That doesn't make, you know, see, this is what I mean, man. Like, we could have had the Great Kung Lao storyline, and we could have literally had a dual storyline running of seeing the Great Kung Lao become the Great Kung Lao, and then eventually Goro becoming champion. Shao Kahn's relevancy is also greatly reduced. He is still important as a general of Outworld. When Melina's secret is revealed, he is one of the characters who fights for the throne. So that's the thing, right? And this is what I'm wondering, whether or not Shao is actually going to be a good or bad guy. He could be very well a good guy. He could very well team up with Katana. Right? That Melina starts to become more and more like out of her mind. And, you know, Shao maybe like, look, you know, she is like ruling everything with an iron fist. So this needs to change. Now, what's interesting though is that because they're Edenian, if Outworld hasn't invaded, and apparently Outworld's a separate area, why do they state important general of Outworld? Because I know he's like, I hear the both arguments. Oh, well, it's a separate world. He's fighting for the throne. Yeah, but it's not Outworld's throne that he's fighting for. He would have to come to Edenia to fight for it. Why would you just come in and fight for the throne? Why, if you're invading, you just invade? Do you know what I mean? It's all about the word, like, right, understanding. Unless Edenia and Outworld are one. I mean, I used to think that, and then apparently I got all different. That you got Edenia, which is like one landmass, and then you've got Outworld, which is another landmass on the same, you know, it's all over the place. Anyway, so again, Salt Shaker, right? But this sort of reads like, well, you know, is he? If Outworld's another world, then he's literally on another realm, completely far away from Edenia. So why would you fight for the throne, unless somehow? I just saw something. What if King Jared and Xiao are brothers. What if that'd be a pretty interesting twist, don't you think? Like they're brothers, right? And maybe he's disgruntled. Melina's taken the throne, you know, or whatever. Maybe Sindel secretly loves Xiao, but not in a gold digging way. Just married one because it was some sort of like, formality, but she's secretly in love with Xiao. I could support that reintroduction of storyline, not just some gold digging hoe, all right, like they tried in MK11, right? Again, a lot of these scrapped storylines are coming from Tobias's mind, right? And you have to wonder, why were some of these storylines scrapped? Now, this one I just said isn't a scrap storyline. That's just me thinking outside the box. But it would make for some interesting twists. Make it very interesting that Xiao and Jared were brothers. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, despite what people have been speculating due to what has been revealed about Melina, Takatans do exist in MK1. However, Takatans are a group of people who have been fully taken over by the Takat virus rather than a race. Yeah, okay, well that's a no-brainer. Noob Sidebot is not a fighter in MK1, but Smoke's death and some endgame stuff implies that Smoke will take the title of Noob in the next game. Yeah, he's gone from being skilled to noob. Right? I don't want that. I don't want that. That's terrible. Yeah, no, that's going back to deception level of dumbassery, where they oh, you couldn't have Noob or Smoke, so we're just going to put them together as one character. What? That was like, Noob Smoke was like the beta cameo. That was like, the alpha version of a cameo. This is the big one. Ready? The main plot of the game revolves around two different realities clashing. Okay, so again, if we go back to the leak a couple of years ago, it actually mentions stuff about how some of the story would be based in the present, some of it based in the past. Well, the past, they might have gotten it slightly wrong. It's not so much the past, it's a new universe. The plot twist is that both endings of MK11 were real because of multiverse stuff. Are these companies brain dead? I mean, look at all the look at all the multiverse stuff that they're doing, right? And all of it's failing. Right? All these movies are failing. It's all failing because nobody wants that crap. All right? It's cheap. All right? It's just lazy storytelling. It means that there's never any consequences because you can just pull the same character out of another universe. He'll be slightly different, and then off you go. It's just lazy writing. Shang Tsung's reality mostly resembles a mix of the two previous timelines, MK9, MK11, and 3D era stuff. Alright, so I know whose team I'm on. I'm on Shang team. Right? Because MK9, has the... You know what I'm saying? Shang Tsung decides to invade Liu Kang's reality. The threat Liu Kang could never have anticipated, which is why Liu Kang must seek champions to fight off the threat. Now, I did a video. I firmly believe Anaga's in it. Like he's got his pottery. He's got his pottery army already. Like it's there, man. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? It's there. Right? Now, This is the interesting part. I think there's been I don't think this is the plot twist. I think the plot twist the plot twist is going to be right. It is going to be Liu Kang becoming evil. Right? Now what if, so we've got a Naga's army, and then I like it in my head, right? What if Liu Kang, because of all his dragon crap, is connected to the Dragon King like an heir, part of his family, or he is the Dragon King? What if in this story, Shang Tsung is actually the good guy, and he's invading to contain the threat of what Liu Kang will become? You know what? NetherRealm, listen, man, if you need a writer to do your story, hit me up, brother. Because that'd be far more interesting. And the only reason why I say that is because if you're going to go bat poo crazy about doing all of this change, then go crazy. Go mental. Go all the way. Right? You don't get no half crazy girlfriend. You get a whole crazy. Right? Go whole crazy. All the way. Okay? And then that would be really interesting. Right? Liu Kang's ulterior motives that nobody has any idea about. Because there's the interesting, is, you know, you got Liu Kang. He's like, oh, I'm the good guy. We're going to defend this realm. Right. But what if it's because Shang sees what Liu Kang becomes? Right? He sees what Liu Kang becomes. He's secretly getting Sub-Zero to perhaps get access to this, perhaps, I don't know. And it's not that, and what I'm saying is, like, Liu Kang may not even realize. You know, it could be like the whole Anakin thing where, like, he's slowly turning, but he doesn't realize it until there's a pivotal moment where he, like, makes a really bad choice, and because of that choice, it then changes everything. And Shang can see that. I mean, Shang's a sorcerer, right? And if this is true and both endings are real, then, you know, he's got, like, God knows how old that bugger is, but, like, he'd have a lot more insight into things over time, different realms and what has transpired and things like that. And if both endings are true, then he also has access to time. And because he has access to time and reshaping, he can see what's going to happen. This is the interesting part, though. How do you get two endings canon? Because both require to be in charge of the Yegede. You know what I mean? Unless Liu Kang is under the false impression that he reshaped the universe and he was actually manipulated into thinking he was doing it, and Shang Tsung got rid of him because he's his greatest rival, stuck him on some other multiverse plane because Shang knew that, you know, he couldn't kill him, right? Because killing a god would have repercussions, perhaps. I'm just spitballing here. So he locks him away in some other new realm, right? Just bear with me. And then he sees over time what Liu Kang becomes. Now, Shang could still be the bad guy. He could still see that he becomes the Dragon King or unlocks the Dragon King. And then Shang decides to invade before that happens, or he invades to try and take over that. And he's secretly whispering, like Damashi, you know, was doing with Shijinko, to get access to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that'd be far more interesting. Anyway, catch you next time.